All right. We rejoin our adventurers a few hundred feet deep at the bottom of a lake. There's air down here because magic, but we'll see how long that lasts.
Shit, I didn't even think about that. I guess we're using it up, aren't we? Quick, grow a plant.
Right. We just gotten done asking 27 questions to Library Stones, and you learned a lot of stuff about history and who was asking about what, and some strange creature looking into other giant ruins was what we had last left on. A betentacled creature with 3 eyes running down the middle of its face.
Right. Right.
Shanks already broken.
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck, I forgot that thing was so creepy looking. Okay. And that was 15 years ago it was accessing the archive.
Thereabouts.
Fucking asshole. Okay. Well, now that we figured out everything we can, how about we take a look around?
Yeah.
I mean, there's gotta be a lot of other things of interest to us here, so... Do we have to be quick about this?
I'm not sure. Why would we have to be quick?
I don't know. How long does the path to the top last?
I think you had
8 hours, right?
Yeah, I'm double checking that. 8 hours. Yes.
So we probably have what, maybe just rough estimate, be safe side, 6 hours.
Something like that.
You have approximately 6 hours remaining.
And it is starting to get kind of late now. It is dark on the surface.
If that ends, are you able to do it again?
It would take time, but yeah.
There was already air here, correct?
Yes. When we came through the door, it was free of water.
Just in that one big central room with the magic circle.
Wait, you're talking about the smelly room, right?
Yes, the smelly room.
All right. Well,
Just an FYI, there's a smelly room. I don't know if he told you that already.
Speaking of which, should we?
Sure.
All right, we're heading into the smelly room, David.
All right.
So before we cross the threshold, so to speak, my question was, would it be possible to create a water barrier? Would the water barrier cut down on? I'm just gonna do it, and that's what I plan on doing, in hopes of cutting down the smell.
Okay. Are you just doing this around you or around everybody?
Around everybody.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to make a bubble of water with air inside of it surrounding you.
like that scene in The Last Airbender where they're shaping it around Appa's head.
Yeah.
And you enter through the large door into the smelly room.
I think Cam usually ends up going first in these situations where we're not being stealthy, but I think she's keeping some pace with Lyris just because underwater is more of his element.
Yeah, and you enter into this room, and inside of this bubble that Wade has created, it smells fine. But now, Cam, you see the scene that the other two had seen previously, a very large magic circle, 30 to 40 feet in diameter, occupying the center of this enormous chamber with several alcoves around the side. And it looks like places pretty high up that used to hold some sort of candle or lighting apparatus.
And we can't, like, this room is so big that we couldn't see, like, across it or something, right?
You used your crazy dark vision, so yeah, right now you can't see to the other side.
I think she does. Wait, does she? I don't know if she always has that, because it says I can share my dark vision. So I don't know if that implies that I always have it.
I can't remember, because I also played the playtest Twilight Cleric that did always have it. I thought they changed that.
You can see, yeah, that's up to 60 feet.
Either way, we're going to be looking around the room.
Okay.
We're going to make our way through it. So,
yeah, you are in here. There are some, apart from the door that you came in through, there's a few other ones. One of them you can gather just from your recollection of swimming down here from, in the first place, leads outside. And then there's another one on the north end of the chamber that leads into a different part of the structure. Is there anything in particular you're looking for in here?
well, for one, the source of the smell. For two, any equipment or anything that might be useful to us, weapons, armor, anything that seems even remotely magical. And I think he's looking as he's heading towards the northern door, because the other one heads, if that one heads outside, it's not really where we want to be going.
Right, yeah, make anybody who wants to get in this, make investigation or perception for me.
I would like to be looking out for, like, threats or anything like that to us.
Investigation 14.
22 for perception.
7 for perception. There's just too many things to look at.
All right, so all right, in this chamber, you're spending some time looking around, scanning the perimeter of this room, giving it like a lap so you can take the entire chamber in with your limited ability to see in the dark. On the walls, in some places remaining, there are reliefs of different scenes of giants engaged in different activities. It looks like there's some sort of story of the history of the builders of this place being told here, or something like that, of significance that was worth carving into the stone. And I think with the 20 whatever it was that you rolled, Shanks, 4, 7, doesn't really matter at this point. One thing that catches your attention, you had suspected last time that this place may have been built by Fomorians, like Alvatende's, the castle Alvatende now occupies. The giants depicted in these engravings do not resemble, they don't have the angular elven features that were portrayed in the Fomorians.
Okay. Do they have any notable features that might help us to identify what kind of giants?
They look a little bit more like Alvatende.
Oh, so they might be storm giants.
They might be storm giants. Something closer to that.
Interesting. I wonder if she knows anything about this place.
Sorry, who?
Alvatinde. These giants on the reliefs, they look a lot like her.
I didn't even notice them.
What were you looking at?
I don't. That circle looks very interesting to me.
Fair enough.
Very captivating.
Well, so they look like Elvatende.
Somewhat, yes. I expected it to be Fomorians.
Well, this place does seem very similarly built as the place that Elvatende was, so I suppose her place was also kind of used by them?
I believe so, yes.
Wolves?
I don't know what's going on. Oh. Well, what do you... I mean, I guess we could ask her next time we talk to her.
It's worth mentioning, for sure. Really don't know who would have built this place. I assumed it was a nefarious race of giants, given that they were at war with a dragon that seemed, on all accounts, to be a good creature. Perhaps the whole thing is more nuanced than we realize.
Well, the dragon that we thought was good wasn't necessarily the same one that they were fighting, right?
That's true.
We don't know much about this dragon that they were fighting.
And it's always difficult when it's accounts of, when it's people giving the accounts of these things. There's always a bit of skewing going on when you pass along stories.
Well, that's what I was interpreting from the stories we were reading, is that they were skewed against this dragon.
What you're saying is we should free the dragon? Pulling out the dragon?
I think you need the board to do that, don't you?
That is, well,
we haven't tried breaking it or anything. Maybe if you broke it, it would just pop out.
Maybe it would kill the dragon.
Maybe.
Yeah, could happen.
Perhaps.
Let's not do that.
Yes.
Just keep it away from Cam. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right, well, shall we continue on?
I'm following your lead.
You're very good at perceiving things.
Sharp eyes, many years of hunting.
Wait, I need
your eyes don't look very sharp.
Actually, that's exactly what they do.
Right. So heading northward, faced with a large door, very similar to the one on the other end of the room. Yes. And we open it up, checking it. What are we doing?
Shanks is like, I don't like that you're asking us to be very specific about what we're doing.
I think we should approach it the same way as he did the last one. He's going to very carefully open it up to try to peer through before fully exposing anyone.
And it opens once again very easily. It opens outward away from you, and you're met with a wall of water that the door opens into and through, providing almost no resistance.
These hinges are incredible, by the way, but it looks like we're going for a swim unless, Wade, you can make a tunnel for us.
A tunnel, you say, as a tunnel appears.
And you didn't even have to use Creator Destroy Water.
Yeah, and you're able to move forward down a comparatively narrow corridor. It's still about 30 feet wide, but compared to the 200-foot diameter room that you were in, it feels like being inside again.
I'm just imagining Lyris, like when he, later in the campaign, he's able to get his own house, and he's like, I gotta find out where those hinges were made. So them in every door in his house.
You're assuming he's not just moving into this place.
It's an option. Yeah, and this hallway goes for about another 60 feet or so before opening up into a smaller circular chamber with some sort of transparent wall on the west side of the room. Something that is so with your passive, we don't even need to roll for this. Something in this room that looks a bit out of place compared to the rest of the area, which you've largely seen a whole lot of nothing or just sediment or silt on the floor. It looks like a big pile of tightly woven chain in a heap on the floor, kind of in the corner. Well, not the corner because it's a round room, but near like one of the alcoves with the excuse me, where like the door frame makes a little tiny corner with the edge of the room.
Just a heap of chain.
That's what it appears to be.
But it's tightly woven, right?
Is
Yeah,
it
almost like a fabric made of chain.
Is somebody's armor?
Could be. Cautiously.
Armor what?
God.
I can't believe.
Depending on how Wade is shaping this tunnel for us, if Lyris is going cautiously, I think Cam just tries to pick it up without any thought.
Oh boy.
You're just traipsing over to the armor and picking it up?
Yeah.
Or the whatever it is.
That's what she's doing.
Yeah. It's massive. Like if you try to pull this piece of chain, it's longer than your entire body.
Like Elvatende size.
Just about. But you can see, looking in front of you, there is some sort of, there's a solid chest piece, like a little block of metal of some kind, with a rune engraved on it. And you also notice Cam's pretty strong, but this should be heavier than, well, you would think that armor of this size would be heavier than it is.
Yeah, she is expecting it to be heavier, and she kind of like pulls it up, and she just like pulls it up too quickly almost, and she comes like face to face with this rune on it.
You should be more careful with things like that, but looks like it's okay.
With chains?
With any unknown object in a magically charged place like this.
It could explode.
It could have been a chain golem for all we know.
Or
Oh,
chain mimic.
do those exist?
Probably.
I mean, if they didn't
think it-
before, they do now.
I have heard of chain devils, so isn't
It's not quite the same thing, but yeah, it could have been a chain devil wrapped up in its own chains, taking a nap.
it's a lot lighter than I thought it would be. I mean, it's still pretty sizable, but very light material.
It
Is this
might be magic armor. Maybe you can put it on and it might respond to your size.
What is she wearing right now? She's wearing chainmail. Yeah, she is. I suppose I could try. She's gonna put it on top of what she's already wearing, just to see. She doesn't even pay any mind to the rune on it or trying to figure out what it is.
Looks like a child in their father's shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Just
does. It
drowning.
does look a lot like that. Some of it's dragging on the ground behind you, like a train. Is Cam trying to attune to this, or is she just putting it on?
She just puts it on, and
Yeah.
she's like, maybe I need to, and she like goes like this to the rune that's on the chest. No,
Reboot.
yeah. Do any of you know what this says on it, or what it means?
Would I recognize that at all?
Probably not.
What I figured.
But Wade might make an Arcana check for me.
13.
13.
13.
It's hard to say. Something to do. It's something to do with wind, but
No, wind. Maybe something like that. Water, fire, earth, air.
Oh, that's interesting to find down here.
Well, not if they were storm giants.
Oh. When she puts it on, can she feel that this is something that, like, she's attuned to magic items before? Is this something that she would know requires that?
I'm gonna say that it appears to be magical of some nature, and nothing happened immediately when you put it on, so that would be a reasonable
Okay.
inference.
Makes sense.
And how long does it take to attune to something generally?
1 hour.
It's part of a short rest usually. Yeah.
Oh. Maybe I'll take this with us. And she's gonna start taking it off. We might not want to waste time figuring it out right now.
All right.
Good.
You have enough room in your pack for that?
If not, I can just carry it over my shoulder.
Okay. Well, should we carry on then? This hallway ended in like another round chamber, not as big, right?
Correct. With
Is there doors?
Yeah, there's one door kind of to the northeast, and then the western side of the wall appears to be missing at first, but on closer inspection is transparent.
And it just leads like outside?
It leads
That's
outside,
looking
yeah.
Does it
60
overlook anything? Yeah.
You've got 60 feet of dark vision.
Yes.
I would say make a perception check for me, and just because we're going kind of on the edge of the range of your perception, we're gonna skip
Totally
the
fair.
passive for this one.
Yeah,
I
that's a
did-
27.
27.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I did confirm that I
Expertise.
always have the dark vision.
Okay, you do. Awesome. So then 300 feet for you.
Yeah.
Pretty plain, easy to see for Cam, but for Lyris, it looks like it just fades into darkness, but then you're like, wait, no, that I can't see the sea floor as far away as I think that I should be able to.
Right.
So you gather somewhere near the edge of your dark vision, the seafloor just kind of plunges.
Hmm. I wonder, was this some sort of overlook at some point?
And Cam, yeah, that's within the range of your 300. You can see that there's like a circular curtain wall around this structure, and you can see crumbled remnants of it where it curves around and intersects with the edge of this chasm. So it looks like at some point this wall continued on further than it currently does, but there's no ground there.
She'll relay that in response to what Lyris says.
Maybe like part of the structure collapsed away. But how? Why?
I mean, there is like a big sea creature in these parts, right?
Well, not these parts per se, but maybe it was at some point.
Yeah, it could have been. The waters are connected.
Interesting. I'm used to investigating things and finding answers, not infinitely more questions.
Welcome to the world.
Just the world in general.
I've been in the world a very long time already.
Welcome to this world, our world, where...
All right. I guess there's nothing more to do but to press on then.
The door?
Yes, press on the door until it opens and walk through it.
Like every 5 minutes there's some sort of fun happening.
All right. Yeah, and you continue through into this door at the northern end, or the northwest or northeastern side, excuse me, of this room, and it opens into another hallway of similar length before terminating in another door, which, if you should choose to open it, would reveal yet another room similarly designed to the one that you just left, but missing the transparent external wall. Yeah,
just a series of corridors and circular rooms.
I mean, isn't that generally what houses are like? Hallways leading to other rooms?
Typically, rooms tend to connect to one another in a meaningful way, not just be separate circles extended apart from one another.
That's fair, but
Maybe it means something to the storm giants.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Is there a significance to this? Is this whole structure, I don't know, built to a arcane purpose?
Anybody can make an Arcana check if you want to.
Wait, do it.
Oh, that's a 7.
Wait, do it
It's
better.
a 7. Maybe.
I mean, there's something pretty arcane about this place. The central chamber quite clearly had a lot of magical investment, but as to the nature of the rest of the structure, if that serves some kind of purpose with that magic, or some ceremonial, or maybe the architect was just getting experimental, would be hard to say.
Fair enough. Well, search this room as well. Just gonna go room to room, search it all.
Do it up.
Perception
more.
again.
Perception or investigation.
Oh, shit. That's a bad one. 16.
What is with that? I'm not using this die now. That's a 9
Yeah.
for perception.
My passive investigation is higher than what I rolled. The passive.
Oh,
is
right.
17.
Passive. We get to use passive. My passive is 19.
19. All right.
I'm an expert at looking.
It's like
Around, so you notice that this door, this room has another door leading out straight to the east on the eastern side of this chamber. It is quite a good bit smaller than the other doors. It's practically like medium creature sized, maybe a little bit bigger. And based on your knowledge of the geometry of the outside of this structure, this would lead outside. And there are there's a lot of like decoration around the frame of this door. It looks like maybe at one point it was more gilded than it was, and some of that has worn away with time, but upon closer inspection you can still see some of that remaining.
Perhaps this was some sort of embassy.
That is curious. Why such an ornate door for a creature that clearly isn't a giant? And it just leads outside, so they were expecting people to arrive through here.
What does the other side look like?
That's a good question. I would like to open it and look at it from the other side.
Yeah, you open this door and you're immediately faced 10 feet later with another door. This is almost like sandwiched here. But
is it like an airlock situation?
It it kind of the geometry would be similar, yeah.
Okay. And is this 10 feet filled with water, or is it like...
I guess that's up to Wade and where the control water is at the moment.
Well, assuming he didn't interact with it.
Then yes, it would be filled with water.
Okay. Interesting. I'll be right back. And he steps into the 10 feet corridor and closes the door behind him just to see if anything at all happens.
You're stuck in here now.
Well,
here
is a good one.
No, the door just closes behind you, and you do see that there are similarly ornate decorations and carvings in the face of the door itself, the door frame on this side, and on the other side of this room as well, on the actual door leading outside.
Is there anything that would indicate, is it just intricate stonework, or is there anything? Is there an image being depicted at all?
It looks like it's mostly writing. There is some imagery, and it's more. What is it depicting? It's like there's some scenes of some sort of humanoids interacting with each other that are more or less the same size. It's kind of hard to get a sense of scale. It looks like a lot of the other decorations in here just scaled down to be the same corresponding size as this entryway.
I can't tell what kind of humanoids they might be.
They're baby giants. This is the nursery.
It's kind of hard to tell from the age of the age of the artwork, the erosion over time.
That's fair. Just curious. Okay, I'll go out the second door and see if there's anything meaningful out there.
Yeah. This would be a lot more revealing if you spoke giant. We're just gonna throw that out there.
Does anyone of us speak giant?
No,
I didn't
No.
think
that
so.
has come up before.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, and you swim out here, and you are properly outside in the bottom of this basically sinkhole that you found at the bottom of this lake.
Right. Is there anything on like the outside of the door or door frame or anything that is in any way different or more significant to me?
It looks like it's maybe a continuation of different artwork, but kind of in a similar style. It looks like there might be some sort of story that's being conveyed through different scenes,
Right.
but without, knowledge of the meaning of runes. The
Fair enough.
bulk of it is kind of lost.
All right. Well, then I'm just going to go back inside, close the door behind me, and then back through. And basically, I'm just going to be like, Wade, is there any way you can maybe copy down some of this writing and we can have Alvatinde translate for us?
Oh, don't we have something for that?
Do we?
I'm looking at what the friggin' foldable pet is capable of at the
Oh, I
moment.
Wonder if you guys remember about that. I thought you'd forgotten about that thing.
I had.
Fading words, it can record everything that's seen or heard in the last 10 minutes. You can use an action to unfold the pet and read the transcription. So that would work in this situation, like that would, right?
Right, it only holds for 10 minutes.
Okay.
That's fine. I mean, it only holds it for 10 minutes. You can't.
It's like continuously overwriting, like scrolling up.
I see.
Now, while you're reading it, it's not doing that.
Okay.
In read mode until we get back. Is that an option?
Yeah.
So we could, I guess it's continually scrolling. I was thinking if we could just like place something over it and then trace it. But if it's continually moving, that would be very difficult.
Moving? Is it moving? It's stonework.
No. Because it would be a lot to trace each rune on a separate piece of paper. I was saying if on the pet, it has a record of everything it's seen, but on a smaller scale.
But if it can remember the last 10 minutes until like it gets into like read mode, open it up into a read mode now, and we'll just keep it that way until we get back to Alvatinde.
Is that how that works? Can we pause what it's seeing?
Yeah, you can pause it. You can pause when you unfold it to start reading it. You notice there's a lot of, at first, it's dark in here. I can't really see anything. I think it's wet because it's been inside of somebody's backpack. But as soon as
I love that.
But if you bring it out and have it walk around for a little while, like I'm in a room, there's carvings around the door. There's like a little squiggly shape that goes left, and it's like describing the engravings in intricate detail.
Okay, so if we leave it like that, then we can show Alvatinde. We just gotta hope that we don't have more things in another room that we gotta record.
Okay. Well, let's continue our search then.
And I'm pretty sure to do this, we had to say muffin or something.
Yeah. It was muffin. Yeah. There's not a lot of other intact rooms here. When you were swimming around, you were able to see that there were some like towers ringing this structure, and most of those have at least partially collapsed with time. I'm sure
Well.
you get to say, like, some archaeologists would probably go absolutely nuts for studying this place, but the immediate big draws relevant to your interests, you think you've probably hit.
Fair enough.
You could someday clean this place up, Lyris, or Wade, and it could be like your own secret underwater getaway.
The thought had crossed my mind. It's a little big for me, and the magical upkeep would be beyond me.
So I suppose if other people are visiting here, that might not be the greatest place to stay.
I mean, unless you like meeting other people.
I do.
I guess it just depends on what type of people, right? Like Jacob Amata or the Sluvian.
They would be interesting house guests, I'm sure of it.
Well, if I have my way, neither of them are going to be around much longer.
And Lyris, I'll note one other thing for you. When you were swimming around outside, you could indeed feel a weak but present current. So there is some sort of water flow down here, which tells you that it for sure connects to some other place.
Right. Well, I mean, I felt like we assumed that we came down into the actual ocean.
You're still, and it's kind of
point.
hard to tell most of it, but you are, for the most part, in a cylindrical shaft.
Anyone want to jump on that?
You want to jump on the cylindrical shaft, Shanks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I assumed when we passed into saltwater that somehow we came out the bottom of wherever we were and into the actual ocean.
At the bottom. So, what now?
I'm not sure. We've searched everything within the structure that seems of note. I wouldn't mind exploring more around and really get our bearings and figure out where we are, but I know our time is limited, and Cam, that might pose problems for you if we linger too long.
Well, so if I go back to, I could wait in one of the spaces that has air if you guys want to double up on the
That's a
effort.
smelly room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't find anything that smelled bad in there?
Not particularly.
What's up with that?
I mean, who knows how old this.
Not a lot of ventilation down here.
Yeah. What he. Oh, wait.
What that voice said.
I mean, you know, there's no fresh air down there for who knows how many years.
I bet the Soluvian was in there farting it up.
You know, I could try and just go down there and use like the water thing to, you know, wash it. Like power wash it. Wash it with some powerful water.
I mean, if you think that would be beneficial, go for it. I'm going to take a look around, like I said.
Well,
And so
Cam,
you're-
Go
ahead.
Cam, do you want to wait in that room, or do you want to go swim with Lyris in the ocean, the lake?
Well, are you able? How would that work exactly?
Well, you know how, just do like a bubble of air.
Oh, just like around my head so I can still like swim.
Probably a little bit larger than that. We
If
just
I'm just, if with all due respect, if I'm just scouting, it might make more sense for me to go alone. I can be faster and quieter.
I see how it is. Yeah, okay. That's your skill set. I'll just go power wash the room.
I'm just taking a look around. If I find anything of interest, I'll come back and let you know.
And I also have my tiny hut that could make me more comfortable if it really does come down to that.
Does the tiny hut block water?
I'm gonna say yes.
At the very least, it blocks smell, so there is
That's
that.
true.
well,
Lyris, you're going for an explorer?
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of just get kind of all the way around 360 the whole thing, but I'm also particularly interested in where it looked like the structure had kind of gone down. I'm willing to go a little bit further in that direction if it feels like I might be able to find something.
Okay. Yeah. So you swim out and taking a look around the bottom of the sinkhole, and yeah, it looks like the portion of the floor that this structure is constructed on takes up the majority of the bottom of this sinkhole. It looks like the sinkhole is perfectly fit. Either, they made the sinkhole, sunk this down here, or built this thing to take up most of the bottom floor. But go ahead.
Sorry. Could I have before Lyris left? Could I have had Cam cast light on like a small little object, maybe even just like a copper piece, and give it to him? Like, if you want to drop this down somewhere to see better, I'm just gonna. It only lasts for an hour, though.
Thank you.
Good idea. Yeah. It looks like about half of the floor of this sinkhole has then continued to fall away on the western side of this building. And even part of that large circular chamber that you were in, part of that floor is sticking out over this trench, I guess, for lack of a better word. Not a huge amount, maybe like 15 feet or so in some places.
Interesting.
But it just goes down.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna swim out over it and drop the lighted copper coin. And see if I can gauge how far down it goes, or if there's anything down there that's a threat.
And it sort of spins and tumbles and falls down slowly. And at some point, it just vanishes suddenly from your line of sight. Not a slow fading with distance, which it is doing as it gets further away. But then...
Interesting. How can I gauge how far it went before that happened?
It went a pretty good distance. Definitely past where the end of your dark vision would have been, because it's a light source. You can see it past that. Maybe you're practiced at measuring distance. Maybe 60 to 80 feet past the edge of the trench.
I'm gonna swim down a little closer, see if I can figure out what caused that. See if they're just like silt kicked up or something? Is there something obscuring it, or?
Yeah. You swim down a little bit into the trench, and as you go past the edge of the floor, it gets suddenly extremely cold, even for you.
Oh shit.
And it start to feel a little bit sluggish, a little bit tired, as though you just got, it's like the entire day that you've had just hit you all of a sudden.
That's fucking weird. All right. I'm gonna head back. I'm gonna head back and tell them about my discovery, and maybe Wade can control water as a way to see what's going on. I don't know. But on top of that, when I searched around, like it is literally we're in like in an enclosed cylinder here, or
More or less. If you do an entire lap of the cylinder, there are some small caves at various different levels poking out into the limestone.
So it's like maybe this was flooded by ocean water, but it is still an enclosed kind of. Okay.
Yeah, it based on the fact that it's salt water, that there's currents in here, it's connected to the ocean, but you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You still have.
We're surrounded by
on
land.
all
Yeah.
sides of you.
All right. Yeah, I'll head back and I'll share everything I've discovered, and then basically like, well, Wade, do you want to come and see if you can shed some light on this situation? Because I couldn't tell what happened to the coin, and when I got close, it got cold. It got very cold.
Are you resistant to cold?
I am. I've never been that cold. It was way colder than it was in the mountains.
So would it be even worse for us then?
If you go into it, but I'm hoping that we can just get close and Wade can maybe pull apart the water.
Like
But I
that?
suspect there's something of a severely magical nature going on down there.
I mean, there's not a lot of light down here, so could explain why it's a bit cold down there. But I
Well,
mean,
yes.
you're saying that the coin just.
I'll say
It just
even now, Lyris, even though you've left it, you're still feeling a little bit tired.
The weirdest thing is I can't even shake the cold. It's like it wore me down. It wore me out.
You do look a bit exhausted,
I feel it, but I won't go back in there. It seems dangerous. I don't know what's.
You know
causing
what?
this.
What? You know what could warm up the cold?
A fireball.
Fireball.
As impressive as your fireballs are, I don't think it's going to be sufficient for this. That's my guess.
I see. Well, I'm just about done power washing this room here, so we can.
Looks nice.
Does it smell? Does it smell any better in here?
No, honestly, it probably smells a little worse because you disturbed a bunch of stuff on the floor with the high pressure.
Make a con save.
But it is very clean.
Let's go. Let's explore the disappearing
let's do this.
coin trick.
So what's Cam doing in all this?
Yeah, I guess Cam was just hanging out with Wade, and then if you think that you could help me continue to breathe underwater, I'm all right at swimming. And
Yeah, you should come with us. I want everyone to be there. I'm baffled. We need answers.
okay.
Yeah, so you head outside. Are you swimming or walking along the seabed?
Let's swim. I don't want to be.
All right.
I don't want to be landlocked in a place where things are falling into the trench.
Yeah, you swim out using some of the control water to make a bubble for Cam's head. Yeah, you swim out over the trench, and it's, largely as Lyris described. It goes down and down and down, and then Cam, at some point, you can see that like darkness just pervades. Even the vision granted to you doesn't peer through this.
I can't see anything at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's something obscuring our view, and I don't know what it is. It might even be magical darkness.
That's what it feels like. I think Cam also left that giant chainmail thing wherever we exited the building. Otherwise, she's probably just like, she'd have to be weighted on the floor of this place.
Sensible. Yeah.
Do we just... I'm very tempted to just go through it. Is that a bad idea?
It's a very bad idea.
Yes. If Lyris, who, is a lot more hardy when it comes to the cold, felt exhausted going through it, it would probably be a lot worse to either of us.
What about if I tried...
Dispelling it?
Yeah, it's what I was going to say, but I can't see anything causing it. I can still try, though.
If it is indeed a magical effect, if you can see the magical effect, can you dispel it?
I think I should be able to. As long as there are not multiple things happening here. She's gonna... Yeah, I will try to dispel magic on this darkness.
Yeah, make a spellcasting check for me.
Not that die. What am I adding? Just my, spell modifier?
Yeah, your wisdom and proficiency.
So 15?
15? So what's the range on Dispa? Is it 60 feet?
120 feet.
It's so good. Yeah, you release this disruptive energy, and you can feel it interact with something. And you kind of see the darkness wobble a little bit, I guess, if that makes sense. And at the location that you're focusing, a small patch of it fades, and you're able to continue seeing. You're able to see through it, and it just goes with your crazy dark vision, maybe another 60 feet or so, and then hits the ground, like the bottom of this trench. And there is indeed, you can see some debris, looks like collapsed structure down there.
Oh, well, I can see some structures that seem to have fallen apart.
And roll a d20 for me, just for fun.
9.
Okay, cool. And that's what you see.
And it just opened up one section of this darkness, and
yeah, it kind of
weird.
fades in at the edges of this circular now opening.
He also got a 9.
either of you ever seen anything like this before?
Magical darkness, or like dispel
One
magic
that-
only dispelling?
Yeah, like the.
Well, that's what I was saying. I think maybe if there's a bunch of overlapping things here, that might be a problem. It only cleared the part that I pointed to.
I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm gonna swim back down to, like just before where it gets super cold, and I'm gonna like stick my hand out for just the section where Cam dispelled the darkness.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
see-
you need to get past the part where it gets super cold in order to reach that.
Still, I'm gonna do it above where that darkness was dispelled then, and see if maybe a passage is there. And if not, then
Like a little stream was made.
yeah, maybe, I don't know. You know,
You're gonna test it, all right?
I'm gonna test it with just a hand, not my whole body.
Yeah. Are you swimming? You're
Swimming to where, like,
over it,
Just
not
yeah,
to it?
over where the darkness is, and not past where it gets super cold.
Okay.
And I just kind of stick my hand out to where it should be super cold based on my previous interaction, directly above that dispelled darkness.
I'm gonna say with your passive, it is less cold. It is still pretty cold. But there is a noticeable difference in the temperature.
All right, it's not as bad, but it's still bad. And I suspect if even I were to start swimming down through there, it would be problematic, and it would be unlikely anyone would be able to come and get me out. So I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to take away from this.
Yeah, I can only do that one more time too, so I don't know if it's worth it.
Anybody who's looking at this, make me, if you would like, you can make me an probably just a straight intelligence check.
Let's see if I have a
Yo,
brain
I rolled a
cell.
13.
That landed
I got very
no number.
21.
21, dang.
Yeah.
Three. Lyris, this seems something about this is striking you as familiar, and then it kind of like, oh, the way this barrier or whatever is down here reacted to the dispel magic, the way that it like sort of undulated a little bit, it was similar in nature to what you saw in the well at Alvatende's castle. Not it's notably different than that, but there are some similarities to it. It's in sort of the physicality, you know, the color, the circumstances, the size, all of those are very different.
This may well be some sort of connection to another plane. It might be connected to the magic of those aberrations. Either way, I don't see any way we can expect to safely pass through here.
Pam is gonna take out another coin, and she kind of wants to see it for herself. Cast light on it. Drop it down.
Are you dropping it down the hole or into the darkness?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Do one of each.
I think the first time is the hole.
Okay, yeah. So you drop the coin down through the hole. It tumbles, you know, slowly down and does eventually rest on the floor. amongst the debris down there.
Drop another one into the darkness.
Yeah, it tumbles and falls and turns off as soon as it passes through.
How close to the hole did you drop that second coin?
She didn't move, so probably pretty close.
If we like repositioned ourselves, would we be able to like
See it on the
see
other side?
other coin through the hole? I mean, it'd probably be pretty difficult, but
I mean, since it was radiating light, that would, where she dropped it, if it had passed through and kept radiating light, you would be able to see that glow in the water.
Is this like a portal?
Did I break a portal?
It might be a portal. Like I said, it might be a connection to another plane. Specifically, I'm thinking possibly whatever plane those aberrations come from.
Oh, maybe it's good that I broke the portal then.
Well, he didn't completely. It looks like we removed a segment of it.
I just feel less bad now.
This may be where the Soluvian came through.
Oh.
Imagine if like a large creature came through here, but there were like a lot of the holes, it'd just be like Swiss cheese coming out.
I suppose.
So what are we going to do with it then?
I don't think there's anything we can do with it right now. We have some information that we think is correct, and it's certainly beyond our current means to deal with it.
Also, how is talking down here working?
Well, I have gills, so I just
Magic.
pack water through my vocal cords, and you have a bubble around your head, so you
Well,
actually
I
have
know I
oxygen to-
could be talking, but I don't know if I'm understanding you talking underwater is the thing.
Magic.
I mean, people can talk underwater and,
Okay.
Be heard.
All right, so we head back up to the surface?
I think so. I don't think there's anything left that we can discover here.
You gather up the chainmail, I assume, and make the swim back to shore where you had set up the now gone tiny hut. It turns off as soon as you leave.
Yeah.
Bad.
Maybe set up another. It's time for some rest, I think.
Yeah, it's well dark by now.
It's as dark as a well out
I
here.
was gonna make a similar joke.
Well, it's about 15 minutes early, but this feels like a natural place to take a break. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll be back here in a little bit. Get your drinks, get your snacks, do whatever you're going to do. But stay tuned because we're going to do who knows what after this. Hi. Welcome back. I was busy making a magic item while we were on break.
Immersion broken.
That's really why he wanted a break.
It's not broken yet. You're still underwater. Hey, join us next week for another
I
don't
couldn't
know,
pick
back
you
to
out
where
of
she was
this.
camping.
Yeah.
It's all underwater now.
It's
where we were
all the whole
camping.
world is underwater.
Yeah, the control water had the the unexpected side effect of flooding the entire plane with
Yeah.
water.
Now is the point when we reveal that this is the water world fanfic that I've been working on for the past 15 years.
Am I Kevin Costner?
Yes. Anyway, we're playing D&D allegedly.
Oh, wow.
Right? So you get back to the shore, and approximately in the same place as where you had left Cam when you went on your initial exploration. It is very dark now. It's somewhere between 10 and 11 at night after you do all this exploring and swim back up. Yeah, that extra tiredness still has not left you, Lyris. The rest of you are just feeling tired from having had a long day.
Time for a long rest, I think.
I think so.
Oh,
Can you dome us up again, Cam?
Yes, I can. She's gonna get to work ritual casting that.
And while you do that, I can ritually identify this chain armor
yeah.
thing.
That was a good idea.
All right, yeah. You get to work on the dome, and you cast Ritual Identify. You identify the Zephyr armor.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
It's a fine set of white and silver chainmail armor bears the wind rune upon its chest. While wearing this armor, you have advantage on acrobatics checks and dexterity saving throws.
Well,
as an action, you can invoke the armor's rune to cast the Wind Wall spell once per day with a saving throw of 15.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
What about the AC? Just typical chainmail AC?
Typical chainmail AC.
Does this suit your armor preferences, Cam?
It does sound very similar to what I'm already wearing, aside from all the cool extra things. I'm gonna have to buy a whole new set of jewelry to go with it.
And,
Right, I do.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I do believe your current set of jewelry would clash with this new chainmail.
Yes, I think I need more silver. I normally do gold because, well, my eyes and a lot of my magic is gold. But,
Well, I find that actually mixing silver and gold can be quite nice.
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
Maybe I just need the right like accent pieces to go with everything.
Could tie it together.
All right, yeah, Cam will take that. I assume that once you like attune to it, it goes down to not being like you're wearing your dad's shirt.
That is correct, yeah. And if you want to refresh your character sheet in D&D Beyond, you will find it in your equipment.
Ooh. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And while they are both ritually casting spells, I would like to ritually sharpen my blades.
You do that. Takes 10 minutes longer than it normally would.
This is how I always do it. So it's a ritual, you know.
Right, yeah, you get those things done. We going to bed? We taking a watch? What's going on?
Honestly, if we're in the dome, we could probably just risk sleeping.
I think I wouldn't mind keeping watch for a little bit at least. But if you're very tired, I can.
I'm still under the magical effect of whatever that cold was, and I really need to get a proper rest in.
Maybe because you're so used to being resistant to cold, you don't normally feel it. This is just like, it's your first time feeling cold, so.
I don't know. I don't know, something about it felt unnatural.
I mean, I'm not resistant to the cold, but when I experience really cold weather, you know, it drains me.
If you say so, but like I said, something about this felt different to me.
Oh, yes, cold. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that was great.
Obviously, I'm not making any headway here, so I'm going to go to sleep now.
When you do that, Cam looks at Wade and is like, why does he always make that face at us when we're, you know, just speaking very plainly with him?
You know, sometimes people believe that they are right. And, you know, sometimes...
Fucking guy.
And if people disagree, then, you know, they might be a little upset about that. Whether he's right or not, I can't say. You know, I didn't experience the cold. I don't like the cold anyway. But, you know, I don't... Is this the first time we've seen him like this, right? So it's certainly unnatural.
You can see there's like a lot of probably wrong ideas about this situation that are like landing in place for Cam, and that she just finally goes, that makes a lot of sense. Before you go to bed, should I wake you up for the next watch, or do you need to sleep through the night?
You can wake me up. I think having a watch isn't a bad idea.
Okay. You get some rest, and hopefully this dome will help him warm up or whatever. Leos could probably still hear this whole conversation because the dome's like 10 feet wide.
Yeah, he's right next to you and not asleep yet.
Yeah.
You just hear a very subtle.
All right. So Cam, you're taking first.
Yes.
Make that perception check for me.
I will certainly try. My dice have been against me, and they continue to be. That's 12. My passive is 14.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fortunately, with a passive of 14, it's not too hard to notice. There is, you may recall that back in town, using the word loosely, one of the guards told you that there were reports of some sort of light seen on the horizon north of town. You are north of town. Mm-hmm. And you know, sitting here in the dark, and you can hear strange, like, night creatures running around, some sort of nocturnal bird calling every now and again. I don't know if anybody here has heard a night heron. Those things sound wild.
I don't know.
But you're sitting there in the dark, and to the northeast of you, there is this, like, flash of light that you catch out of the corner of your eye, just somewhere off in that direction. I'm going to say with the 14, you're probably not looking directly at it when it happens, but you do see this just quick of that sort of bluish white light that was described.
Could I tell how close it is? Or if it's like over the forest area or along where we're traveling toward?
It's if the road is going if you assume that the road keeps going in a straight line, it's not directly that way.
Okay.
It's more off to the east.
Okay. I think then she just kind of pivots herself so that she's directly facing that way. She does look around still once in a while, but since she has to be inside the dome, she focuses where that is and just spends her watch kind of taking note of things that she might have to tell Wade about.
How long is Cam's watch, given that I think Lyris is sitting this one out?
Could she go for 4 hours and not suffer any? Okay, then yeah.
It'd probably just be a little bit of a later start the next day, but
yeah, okay. Then she will do that. 4 hours.
yeah, during those 4 hours, it happens one additional time, sort of close to the end of you're about to wake Wade up to take over, and you see it looks, now that you're sort of looking in that direction, it looks more like a column of something very quickly coming up from the forest into the sky and then going out.
Almost like when Cam cast Guiding Bolt or Wade cast Fireball, like a little streak of something that expands, or just like
it like forms a column and then like the end chases the top up and then it vanishes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Cam will go over to where Wade is asleep and just kind of gently nudges him awake. Wade.
Ah, what?
It's
Oh.
I noticed some light, and she points to where the direction of the light is coming from. Just like the town's
about.
Yeah. It kind of looked like a column of light that then chased after itself and then disappeared, and it only happened twice in the last 4 hours.
Interesting.
So maybe, yeah, it just happened just a little bit ago. So I don't know if you want to try to time that for your watch to see if there's some sort of pattern. But other than that, nothing happened. Except this weird bird. It really just unsettled me. I've never heard anything like it before.
Creatures can make very interesting noises.
I'm gonna go to bed, but I did try to stay up as long as I could. So I'll go climb into her bedroll. I guess she would take off her chainmail to do so, to actually get a proper rest.
It sounds good. Make that perception check for me, Wade, during this watch.
Perception. That's a 10, but my passive is 16.
Cool. Yeah, you you hear the noises again of animals scurrying about. And then during the course of your watch, keeping an eye in the direction that Cam noted, about halfway through your watch, you also see that column of light very quickly shoot up and vanish. Only happens the once on your watch.
Is there, like, does that trigger anything? Like, does any memories or thoughts of what it might be?
I think just based on that alone, nothing specific. Column of light, probably magic. A lot of things could do that. It's still a pretty good distance away from you at this point.
Roughly, yeah.
I mean, is there some kind of check or something that you'd like to make?
It's just a basic Arcana check, I guess.
Yeah, so he might give you something.
That's a 19.
19. With a 19, there's a couple of possibilities that come to your mind. There could be some sort of natural phenomenon that's doing this that happens semi-regularly. It could be some sort of magical endeavor that somebody's working on, or perhaps an artifact or something that's malfunctioning. Something about the short pulse and the irregular nature of it make you think that it's not doing whatever this isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing in exactly the way that it's supposed to do it, which is delightfully vague, but
That makes sense. Oh, look, there's an animal.
But yeah, apart from that, your watch passes largely without incident, and the sun starts to push its way over the horizon. And the morning greets you. You successfully finish your long rest. And if you want to attune to the armor, Cam, you certainly have the opportunity to do so.
Yes, I think Cam gets up. Yeah, probably after Lyris, I guess. Especially the fact that she went to bed a little bit later. But when she does get up, she is looking over the armor and she's looking through her bag. And instead of pulling out her gold powdered vial, she pulls out the silver one and starts like applying some of that to her usual makeup for the day. Kind of thinking about her spells and stuff, and just as like a little bit of a prayer sort of thing as she just sits and prepares herself for the day they have ahead of them.
Either of the rest of y'all doing anything this morning?
I might try to get us some food for the morning, since I'm probably up before anyone else.
And yeah, you're feeling perfectly fine this morning, completely restored, reinvigorated. The chill has left your scales.
That's a relief. Was it in fact a level of exhaustion?
Not quite. It wasn't. No. It wasn't enough to
pair
to give you a level of exhaustion.
Fair enough.
Who knows what would have happened if you'd have kept going?
Nothing good. I'm sure of that.
Well,
I don't
I don't know.
I
There's 3
mean-
copper down there.
know.
I mean, those
Um,
pools that you made us go through in Wizards sucked, and then something good happened. So
Yeah, I don't think these would have turned out the same way, personally.
This is just a reskin of Wizards of Sicaria.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna try to make sure we've got food for the morning, and that's about
Give me that
it.
survival check.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 9.
A 9. Wow.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of small rodents that skitter about, and you could catch them if you wanted to. I think
Are they safe to eat? They're just-
they don't have glowing brains, if that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, I think he's gonna take a few down just so that they've got a protein option here,
Yeah.
and cook them over the fire.
Nothing spectacular, but yeah, you are able to gather a few rats.
They'll be cooked well done. It's fine.
Yeah, you would know how to make them safe to eat. All right. Breakfast available, sleep had, dome ended. What would you like to do with the
All
day?
right. Well, that was a lot more of an adventure than I expected for diving into a lake.
Are you feeling okay?
I'm feeling much better.
Okay.
You're not cold anymore?
I wasn't cold. I was exhausted by it. It was overwhelming. It wore me down.
Drain the warmth from your body.
So I was thinking we should continue on northward to the next point of interest on the map.
Does that coincide with the light?
Oh yeah, we saw the light last night.
That's interesting. What did it look like?
Like a light that went up into the sky.
Yes,
Like
Cam
if I were
described
to-
it sort of like a column, and then the column it goes up like
Oh.
that.
Well, that is
Perhaps
peculiar. Is that possibly another form of planar travel that we?
I don't think so. I feel like it's whatever is happening. It's probably not supposed to be happening how it should. Perhaps some sort of magical thing is malfunctioning.
And that was to the north.
Yes.
More or less northeast.
She's gonna point directly like where she remembers seeing it. It
Hmm.
was right over there.
All right. Well, let's continue on to our next destination then. Actually, our next destination was off the road to the east, wasn't it?
It was.
There you go.
How much of a coincidence is that?
Yeah, indeed.
The map is live if you would like to reference it.
I would indeed.
What's new in
like to
maps?
reference it. So we're going to Stonehenge.
Yeah, y'all are. I'm gonna make a dot on the map in orange. You spent the night somewhere around that. I don't know if you can see that orange dot. It's
Yes,
pretty
Yes.
small.
I can
Okay.
see that orange dot.
Somewhere around there is where you spent the night.
All right. Well, the question is, do we want to follow the road northward until we are where we assume exactly west of the thing, so we're traveling through the least amount of the woods, or do we want to make a straight line towards it? possibly cut off some of that time, but risk traveling through the woods longer.
Well, we didn't seem to have much trouble going through the woods before.
Are these like, I guess, Wade's just wondering, like, is it faster to go through the woods?
It would
It's
be for
more.
me.
Yeah, it would definitely be for him. It's more direct to go through the woods, but it looks like the terrain would be more difficult. So depending on what sort of pathfinding abilities your group has, that may take more or less time.
We are pretty
not-
good at survival.
Oh, I'm not the greatest at that.
Well,
Get on my
if
back.
Cam and I lead the way, and all you have to do is follow the path we leave, that should be fine, right?
yeah, and we're hopefully bound to find something more interesting than just following the beaten path.
That's true. Who should make the roll here? We're helping each other, so do this. Navigate the woods.
I have a +7. What do you have?
All right, you go ahead. I've got a 6.
What are they talking about?
With a scale of 1 to 10, I feel like I'm about a 7 at this.
Pretty good.
But my
You're
dice.
helping them, right?
But my dice.
Yeah, you have advantage on that.
I rolled a 5 and an 8, so that's a 15.
Not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Not bad.
But I haven't rolled above a 10 so far, so
It's
I'm
not-
kind of annoyed.
Not great. Yeah.
We haven't been in a fight yet, though. So.
You haven't rolled above a 10, and 8's pretty good.
You're rolling a d20, not a d12, right?
Yes, I am. Thank you, David.
I mean, I've done that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you decide to cut through the woods in more of a straight line, and you're able to more or less do that. You do save a little bit of time, you think, over the indirect path that would have been necessary with the road. There's lots of very small, densely grown trees here with some long vines with pretty sizable thorns growing in patches here and there, and occasional small, like, prickly pear cactus growing up out of the sand. Watching out for those, you're able to traverse the woods pretty painlessly. And one thing you notice as you get closer and closer to the eastern shore of the island, the height of the canopy is getting lower and lower, almost in just a very, very gradual slope. But let's see. So that is after. Okay, 1 hex is half a mile. After maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours of walking, I'm going to make a perception check for me, please, everybody.
Perception.
Well, my passive is 19.
22.
I rolled a 17, which is 1 more than my passive.
Nice. So all of you eventually do hear. Cam hears it a little bit before everyone else. There is often the not too far distance, the sound of something pretty large moving about, and you can't make out what they are saying, but you can hear voices in the distance. Just that kind of like sort of thing.
Do the people of Harbor Watch come out this way? Do we know?
I don't think they'd have any reason to be this far out right now.
Now, you remember the one of the guard that you spoke to specifically said that they don't.
Oh.
At least
I
not
can-
very often.
I can go scout it out.
Sneak. Yeah.
You guys should go a little bit further ahead of me, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna get well ahead and try to sneak my way up and figure out what it is.
Hey, make a stealth check for me, please.
18.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you another map.
Got maps on maps on maps here.
Gasp. Is this Dungeon Alchemist?
It is Dungeon Alchemist. So I've got
I love Dungeon Alchemist. It's my first choice in dungeon map making.
It's part of a healthy breakfast for growing D&D campaigns.
And it cured my erectile dysfunction.
I'm gonna send that to Mac. Here you go. You can use that endorsement from us.
Good night, everybody. Oh boy. So, Lyris, you sneak up to the edge through a cluster of trees of what appears to be some kind of excavation site. There are large mounds of dirt piled on the southern side of the camp, and you can see some of your little eyeball buddies.
Oh, these fucking guys.
This fucking guy here.
Scampering about the camp. One of them's working at something on a table. Two of them are over by a stone pillar talking about something. And then something large moving. Ignore the name of this token. We're just using the imagery here.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I don't,
I see why you would have to ignore it.
because it says Warlock on it, and I didn't rename the token. I just like this better than the other Fomorian token.
Got it.
There is a large, distended, somewhat mutated giant figure sitting on the edge of this excavation with its feet sort of dangling down into the hole, leaning back occasionally, saying something to the two Nothics that are speaking. And around this excavation, there are 5 large stone pillars about 30 feet high, varies a little bit, about 10 feet in diameter. There's a space with 4 making a semicircle around the north side, and then 1 off by itself to the southwest. They don't seem to have noticed you.
Okay. I'm going to cast message back at the other 2. And whisper, more Nothics and a Fomorian, it looks like. I think I'm gonna go ahead and make the first strike. Be prepared to fight.
Right, so are y'all getting into some sort of combat positions?
How far away? I guess I don't know how far away Lyris would be.
Let's say I went about 60 feet ahead of you, kind of thing.
But you're stealthy.
I'm stealthy, but you can whisper back to me if I cast message. So if you needed to, you can also do that.
Were you messaging me or Cam?
Honestly, whoever was closer. So, I don't know.
Probably wait then, because Cam deliberately was trailing behind because of her noisiness.
Fair.
I would whisper back, do you want to be invisible for a minute?
Going to cast message again. I think I have enough cover that I can make a strike. And I would like to use the trees to get up behind the Nothic at the table, and I will make an attack once I believe everyone's in place and ready to go.
All right. So position your tokens wherever you would like them to be.
I assume Wade relays what's happening to
Yeah.
Cam. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, she ends up making herself a target regardless, I feel like. She'll wait until she hears stuff, but I think she's going to come out of the tree line here.
You are partially obscured behind a large pile of dirt, right where you're standing, too.
Cool.
All right. So I think, Lyris, go ahead and make your attack roll on that Nothic.
All right.
And then we'll roll for initiative.
Battle.
That is going to be a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And,
Keep forgetting about that. That there's like a little tracker thing.
that's going to be 13 piercing damage.
13 piercing damage. All right. I didn't number these.
I am prepared to make 2 more quick strikes.
Okay. Yeah. 13 damage. Great. We will actually have to press start combat for that to work. Ooh, they changed it.
Oh.
Okay. I like this. Cool. All right. Yeah. Make your other strikes.
All right. That's a natural 1.
Okay. Yeah. That one misses.
That's an 18 to hit on the third one.
Actually, you would have advantage on these since you're hidden from it.
Would I on the second attack?
Actually, yeah, no, not on the second one, just the first one.
You do
I'm
have
pretty sure once I stab
inspiration.
him, he knows I'm. Oh, that's true. I do have inspiration.
You do
I'm
have
using
inspiration.
it. That's a much better. That's a 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
And then the third one that I already rolled, I said was an 18.
That will also hit.
Cool. Okay. Well, I don't get sneak attack on these, but I do get Hunter's Prey on this one. So that's going to be another 12 piercing damage.
Very nice.
And then another 9 piercing damage after that.
Man, you do a lot of damage to this thing. It looks severely wounded and sort of screeches out in response. And then...
Yeah. He basically just comes out of the tree line right away, jabs his blade up through it, and then stabs 2 more times real quick, and then pulls away expecting it to fall dead, but it doesn't.
It's pretty close. And did we get those initiative rolls in here?
Oh. Oh, that's good.
That's a 4.
20.
Come on.
That's this many.
Ooh, 19.
God damn. Pretty good, Ken.
Yeah, especially since I don't have a bonus to that.
Initiative. 20. You said 19, Lyris?
Mine was 20.
Yours
Cam
was
was
20.
19.
Cam was 19. Okay. And then 4.
I'm just
Amazing.
waiting it out.
Yeah, it's fine. You wait to see what happens, and then you... Although they should probably all have the surprise condition for...
Yeah, they will. All right. Well, Lyris, It's your turn. Now that we started.
Isn't that my turn? And then like Cam and Wade, and then I would go.
Well, since you rolled so high, we can do it that way. But that sort of action that you took started the combat. Now they have the surprised condition, and we're in initiative.
I'm willing to kill him. That's fine. That's only a 12 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay. Well, good thing I've got 2 more swings. That's a 20 to hit.
That will hit.
And that is a very low roll of 8 piercing damage.
Not quite enough to get it done.
All right, third attack it is. That's 15 to hit.
15 just hits.
All right. And no Hunter's Prey this time. That's going to be another 7 piercing.
And 7 will get the job done.
All right, yeah. Just as it starts screaming, he's just like, "Oh, okay." Just rams his blades up into its torso and then just lets it slide down off of it. Like, think they know we're here.
Yeah, and you hear this screaming, and then the rest of the camp springs to attention in response. But you have the advantage of surprise.
I'm going to, I can't really see the grid that well on the grass, but
I didn't make it quite bold enough.
I think I'm going to run out this way. I think I can get to there at least. And I'm going to, oh no, I used all 3 attacks. So, oh no, that doesn't use bonus action anymore. I am going to bonus action cast Hunter's Mark on the Fomorian.
All right. And then
That's
on that, Cam, you are up.
Yeah. I also can't really see the grid too well, but we could.
I think there is a ruler. Yeah, there is a ruler that is accurate.
Cool. Okay. Then I think what Cam is going to do. How far can I cast that? 60 feet. So if I go here, Cam is going to run up 20 feet. How big is this mound of dirt here? Can I go on it with relative ease?
Yeah, you could.
Okay. Then I'm gonna run up and I'm going to summon. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna guiding bolt this thing at
the Fomorian?
Yes. I'm gonna do that at 3rd level.
All right, make your attack roll.
Please. Does a 17 hit?
17 does hit.
Nice.
Ooh.
Okay.
See some big damage.
16 because I rolled 2 ones.
Yeah, and you release this bolt of light at it, which impacts it. Perhaps not as strongly as you would have hoped. It's just a low damage roll, not resistance to radiant damage. But it is cloaked in that glowing light, granting advantage on the next attack against it.
Yeah, she runs up. She like kind of reaches her hand up into the sky and just like goes like this, and it just unleashes this like glittery gold bolt at it. And then I think that's all I can actually do right now, so that'll be the end of my turn.
All right. So then the Nothics are up. Well, Nothic 1 is dead. These 2 on the other side of the pit are next. They see what's going on, and they can't take actions. So let's see what they can do, if anything. What fun bonus actions do they have? I don't think it's any. Come on, internet. Nope, that is also an action. Okay.
The internet's in action.
Yep. So, seeing some assailants coming out of the trees sort of scatter a little bit, get out of sight of you. A third one, you can see, quickly pokes its head out of this tent on the west side of the pit, sees what's happening, ducks back in.
Okay.
And the Fomorian stands up as they all get to go in a row because they rolled that way, and does start sort of charging over this way toward you, Lyris, and it does manage to close the distance with its movement.
It's a lot of movement.
It's a big thing. Big leg.
How tall is it?
Actually, can't quite get that far. That's a little bit too far. It gets back like there. This is a huge creature, so it is quite tall.
Cool. Okay.
Probably somewhere in the nature of like 20 feet or something like that. Taller than most of the trees here.
Neat.
Then Wade, you're up.
I would like to cast Glow on the Fomorian.
All right.
Wisdom save 15.
That's going to be an 18.
It was a good attempt. That was a good choice.
That was a good choice. Anything else?
Just hide behind the trees here. Maybe. So why I only cast Fireball?
It's hard to miss.
It is very hard to miss. Okay, so that's the end of your turn, Wade.
Yep.
We're back up to Lyris.
All right. I'm going to set myself up for future turns. I'm going to move into his space, and then I would like to cast Fog Cloud, please. Centered at a point below where his the headlights. So basically, it'll be like a 10 to 12 foot high, hemisphere of fog over where Lyris is exactly.
Yeah.
Completely obscuring him from view.
Smoke bomb.
Exactly. Yeah. just a ninja at this point. Just
yes.
And that's my action. I can't really bonus action anything at this point.
What's the radius on that?
It's 20-foot sphere.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it won't go up 20 feet because I'd cast it lower than 10 feet in the air, but
center it on the ground or whatever.
Yeah. And that's my turn.
All right. Ooh, what's it gonna do on its turn? But before that, Cam, you are up.
So I can still see the Fomorian, just not Lyris?
Correct. It's like probably up to about its like waist high in fog, but everything above that is still visible and glowing.
Good. I was like, are we gonna waste my guiding bolt? Cool. What is
Could throw your spiritual weapon out there.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to remember what my usual go-to here is because it's been a bit. Sure. Cam is going to probably look pretty awesome up here on this kill as I'm gonna use my radiant soul. So not only is she kind of being like windswept by this armor that she's wearing, she now just like has wings sprout from her back, and her eyes just start shimmering gold. And then I'm going to bonus action cast spiritual weapon.
Nice.
Put it right behind the Fomorian and attack with advantage. Does a 16 hit it?
A 16 does just hit.
Cool. Gosh, where's my spiritual weapon? Okay. What's my damage rolls? That's going to be 5 plus. I think my thing applies to this as well, which means
Could say so.
12 radiant damage total. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you start wailing on this thing with your divine energy.
And she's going to kind of fly down to the bottom of this little dirt pile.
All right. What is the range on that? 30 feet. Okay. So then, I can't see Lyris anymore. Yeah, this one is, they're all going to kind of go at the same time. This one's going to rush out of the tent here. And this one can get just about there, which I think puts it, it's still out of range. Good for you. So B and C are going to come scrambling out of their tent and then take the dodge action. D is able to get within 30 feet of you and just opens its single giant eye as wide as it can and just kind of glares in your direction. Cam, please make a Constitution saving throw.
Natural 20, baby.
Nice.
Nice.
Now you feel some cold energy wash over you from this thing's gaze, but it just you just shake it off.
She's like, no, it's just because of what Lyris said, and she like pushes that thought out of her mind.
And then it is the Fomorian's turn. I forgot something. Okay, we're gonna start doing that later.
I'm looking at a picture of these Nothics, and I'm like, these things stay intense and excavate land. They're so creepy looking.
They do now.
Okay, I need the measuring stick.
Why?
Amazing. Yeah, the Fomorian, you can't really see most of this because of your fog cloud, but it
blind sight.
You can see all of this because of your fog cloud.
That's why I cast fog cloud, baby.
The Fomorian reaches up and grabs onto something that it's wearing around its neck and points with its other hands in a direction at the edge of the fog cloud, and there is just this crackling burst of like black lightning that explodes out of that point. That Cam and Lyris, can you make dexterity saving throws for me, please?
Ooh, I get to use my thing already? Oh, I rolled 2 18s, so that's 18.
16.
Nice. Those both save, which is nice. I don't have. Okay, well, so will both of you please take 16 points of force
Holy
damage, please?
shit.
Oh, Polly, do we have to?
You do.
That was a lot for a freaking save.
Well, huh? Can't do that a lot.
All right.
But there are 3 of them, so there's that.
Well, that was the Fomorian, not the
Oh, sorry. Okay.
not the you saved and took nothing from what the Nothic did. And then let's see, it
Good
is
timing, Pat.
You might get your way, Pat. We'll see.
Yeah.
you picked such a good. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Yeah, and then Lyris, if you could, as it takes a bonus action. Please make me a Constitution saving throw.
What's it doing now?
It's farting.
It's a 21.
21, yeah. So from outside of the fog cloud, this doesn't really have mass or substance for you to be able to see with your blind sight. But like tendrils of darkness sort of lash out from the Fomorian, almost like one of those like plasma balls toys that you, I don't know if you ever played with one of those.
Yeah,
Sort of radiating in a random direction, trying to like grasp onto stuff. But you successfully save. So we'll see what that happens then if you fail. So
Okay. Shit. Okay.
that is going to be the Fomorian's turn. It's going to stay
Oh, is
where
that
it's
all?
at. Yeah, that's all. And we're on to Wade.
Wait, break them all.
So I've been like watching, trying to tell like whether or not there's enough enemies grouped up to do fireball. Are the Nothics like within a 20-foot circle? Is that?
Nothic
Yeah, I
C
think-
is 30 feet away from Nothic D.
It's a 20-foot radius, right?
Radius.
So
Yeah.
40 feet
Radius.
from end to end. Yeah.
Just based off of me watching them, would I be able to tell they took the dodge action?
That wouldn't affect fireball.
It'd give
Yeah,
him
it would
advantage on
dex
the save.
saves advantage.
Oh, does it?
Which,
Yeah.
yeah.
Make an insight check.
Insight. I'm good at that. Passive is 16, but I will roll anyway. That's 15.
Yeah,
That
I'd say you
passive
can
is
tell
just-
they're ready for something.
And I don't know.
You don't know these creatures to be particularly dexterous.
Just cast
What
like that.
anyway? Half damage is still damage.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, there's 3 of them. It's fireball. Why not? Dex save of 15.
Okay, the first one gets a natural 20. Second one gets a 9. And the third one gets a 14.
It's 2 fails in
So
the pass.
32.
2 fails and a pass.
32 fire damage or 16 for half.
All right, so C takes 16, and the other 2 take 32. Dang. That's a
They hurt
good hit. Yeah,
They
those
hurt
2 that failed look quite badly singed by this. There's just this massive ball of fire completely incinerates that one tent.
Nice.
That's what I wanted to do.
You did!
You did it. You burnt the
Success!
tent.
I hope nothing important was in there.
We
I will
won't
just
find
step
out.
back behind the trees. No. That'll be my turn.
All right, back to Lyris.
Yay. So that's going to be a 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
And I need 2 additional d6s for sneak attack and hunter's mark. That's going to be 13, 14, 15 plus 5, 20 piercing damage on the first attack.
Whew.
And I got to roll attack again first. So second attack is going to be that was a 19, so 27 to hit. And that's going to be 12 more piercing damage.
Very nice.
And then my third attack is going to be 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Nice, and that's going to be another 11 piercing damage.
Ooh.
So, yeah, literally from in this fog cloud, he's just cutting this guy's legs up. Looking for that final opening.
Man, you have done a lot of damage to this in a few short rounds.
That's the first time I did damage to it. First one was all Cam.
All right. Anything else from Lyris?
That's it. That's everything I can do.
All right. Is Fog Cloud concentration?
It is, yes.
Okay. All right. We're on Cam.
I did roll a saving throw when I took damage. So.
Okay. Move up here. I think this is the first time I'm ever using this feature of mine.
I think so.
But I'm going to use Twilight Sanctuary. So she kind of holds on to her amulet on her neck, and the light around her gets like this strange, like gold, silvery shimmer around her, and doesn't do anything yet. But at the end of my turn, or the end of Lyris's turn, he should be able to benefit from getting 1d6 plus 7 temporary hit points for being within 30 feet of me. And I'm gonna use my bonus action to do the spiritual weapon.
All right.
That is plus 7, 21.
Oh, yeah.
And damage. 10 plus 7 damage from my radiant soul thing, so 17 radiant damage.
Oof.
Sorry, when do I get temporary hit points applied?
Whenever you end your turn within 30 feet of me.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And that'll be the end of my turn, so I'm going to benefit from that, except they rolled a 1 on that. It's 1d6 plus 7, just so you know.
Got it.
All right, yeah. Anything else from you, Cam?
That is the end of my turn.
All right. They're not stupid, and they're badly injured. Yeah.
They did not think that this was going to be so hard.
Wow. Wow.
I know, it was a bit of a stretch, but I felt like making the joke, so I don't care.
Consequences.
Yeah, so you see... Yeah, these two just sort of book it for the woods, taking the dash action.
Get him, Wade.
Yeah, wait, stop him.
B,
Still in
like,
range.
it's like, if you spoke Nothic, it would be something like, come on, guys. Like,
We're just working here.
but to its friends running away. But it is then gonna... You're intending to be like hiding behind some trees. Is that right, Wade?
I mean, couldn't use like an action to
Right.
hide behind the trees. So
But
I'm
you
like
went for
hiding.
cover.
I'm for cover, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so this one I think is gonna run. Okay, that's 30 feet there. It is. That's tough. Okay, yeah. It can see Cam at the moment, so yeah, it's gonna try and stare at you again, Cam. If you could make me another charisma saving throw, please.
I thought it was Constitution.
I'm sorry, yeah, I can't read. Constitution.
Oh, let it be charisma.
Actually, you know what? Cam's not here, so it's gonna hold an action.
She'll be back. It'll be fine. There she is.
Sorry.
All good.
Constitution?
Yes, please.
Come on, big die. 17.
You successfully resist whatever this Nothic is trying to do.
Fuck these Nothics.
What's
The
happening?
Fomorian, though, a little bit annoyed
Getting his legs all fucking cut up.
at what is going on. Let's see.
Decides to kill us all.
I need to read this entire spell.
Oh. Uh-oh.
A creature you can see. A creature you can see.
You're manifesting.
There you go. Okay, yeah. So you see it invoking some sort of spell. There's no immediate effect that is visible to you, but actually with your, I don't think your blind sight would let you see this since its head is more than 10 feet away from you.
Right, but the fog cloud is, I don't know how that works, actually.
I don't know how it works. I'm going to say, so with the fog cloud provides you total cover.
Right.
But you can see through 10 feet of that cover. I'm going to say you probably can't see beyond the fog cloud.
Yeah, I think that's fair, because I can't use my eyes to see through the fog cloud. I'm using like sort of a ESP kind of.
Echolocation.
Yeah.
Your fish. It doesn't look very cool, but
yeah. So it does something, and then Cam, you can see it sort of look straight down into the fog and start raising its club. But that was its action to cast that spell.
Okay.
All right.
I think I can. I got this.
And then let's see if that recharges. It doesn't. That's cool.
This is going well for once. I'm not pummeled to death already, guys.
You're supposed to be emitting fog this whole time.
Yeah. From now on, my first action in each combat.
Fog.
But yeah, that's going to be its turn. It casts a spell and gets ready to do something. And then Wade, you are up.
I wonder if these creatures are intelligent. I'm gonna use Tasha's Mind Whip on Nothic B, which is intelligence save of 15.
What is the modifier? Not as much as I would like. All right. That's going to be a natural 1.
Woo!
Okay, that's 12 psychic damage. I don't know if it has any resistance to that. So it can't take a reaction until its end of its next turn. On its next turn, it must choose a move, action, or bonus action. Only one of the 3.
It has a splitting headache now. Right, help me remember that, because that's good. Well, yeah, it fails miserably, like grasps its head with one of its giant clawed hands in pain. Anything else from Wade?
Nah, just, covering behind the trees.
All right.
Back to me.
Yes.
Awesome.
And for this round, unfortunately, well, actually, I'm gonna say, yeah, you still get advantage from the fog cloud, even with that spell that it cast.
Okay. Fuck. What is that supposed to mean? Okay.
No, I started saying something that was like, I have to explain myself because actually, no, you're still behind cover for those purposes.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's a 23 to hit on my first one.
Yeah.
And that's going to be... Ooh, crap roll. But 11 plus 5 is 12 plus 5 is 17 piercing damage on the first one. And then... second attack is going to be 19.
Yeah.
For... why can't I math? 13 piercing damage. And then a 20 to hit for another 11 piercing damage.
Dang, man, you bodying this thing.
Yeah, he's just slicing up at the thighs and trying to get in under the knee. And then immediately when he's done his attack, he oh, I don't want to move away from Cam. It's 30 feet, Cam?
Yep.
Let me just...
Needs to make 3 concentration checks.
He's going to move a little bit, not a lot, because I don't want to lose out on those temp HP. And then 1d6 plus 7, right?
Yes. Sorry.
Nice. 12 HP.
All right.
That's my turn. Did he maintain concentration?
He did.
Son of a bitch. On all 3, eh?
Yeah. Guy's pretty stout.
Yeah,
Sturdy
I guess.
creature.
But it's that volume method, right? Like, sooner or later, he's got to roll a 1 or a 2.
He'll get
right?
a 1 eventually, yeah. All right, but then we're on to Cam, and eventually the Fomorian will be able to try and do something.
Neat.
Cam sees that it's raising its club, correct?
Yeah,
And looking down into the fog.
and you see it sort of track around itself.
Okay, I'm going to Cam's wings sort of fold back into her for a moment as she concentrates her magic outwardly. And I guess theirs can see this. There's like a shimmery shield that forms in front of
I
him.
can't see that.
No? Okay. Like in front of you? You can't see it?
It's outside of
you?
the fog cloud.
You.
Oh, it's on me.
Yeah, it's right in front of
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Sorry, yes, then yes.
She's
then I
going to
can see it.
cast Shield of Faith on you.
Oh, shit.
Do you need to be able to see him for that?
It says, a creature of your choice within range.
There we go.
Yes.
Fucking godly powers, baby. Just, I know he's there. Boom.
My daddy's a unicorn.
So you have a +2 to your AC, as long as I concentrate on that. And then I'm gonna again pull the spiritual weapon into the back of this thing. That is 24 to hit.
Yeah.
Max damage 12 plus 7, 19 radiant damage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Starting to look pretty rough, honestly.
Wearing him down.
You know what? Does the fog seem to be following
No.
Lyris?
No, it's stationary.
I guess I wouldn't even know if you're moving around in there. But it hasn't moved this whole time, so Cam is
No.
going to step into it. like at the very end.
Yeah, no, absolutely fair.
That's end turn.
Okay. So we have the Nothics. Those other two are just gonna skedaddle. And B is gonna do that too, but because of the mind whip, it can't take the dash action. It just sort of like hobbles
He's drunk.
over towards the tent.
They hurt my brain.
Fuck this. Okay, and then we're on to the Fomorian, who is gonna see if that ability recharges. It doesn't.
Don't know what we're rooting for, but yay.
As long as you're not doing something, I'm happy.
But it is. You feel with just enough warning to try and jump out of the way, the wind leading this club as it is swinging towards you.
Yeah, he just like very suddenly just bends all the way backwards as his club swings past him and just clobbers this picnic table or whatever it is.
Well, let me roll to hit first and see.
All right. I assumed you rolled low, and that's why you're telling me I can.
Oh, I haven't rolled yet.
Got it.
There's some wind
That's
damage
gonna be
happening.
A 23 to hit.
Oh, that does just hit. Even with my shield of faith, that's gonna get me.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
feel this club come down from from your right side as it's just swinging into you. And can you make a dexterity saving throw for me?
Okay. That is going to be 17.
Okay, cool. You make that, so you're not prone. But
All
you
right,
do take
all
some
right.
damage. I need one of these and one of these. Okay. Please take 19 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of necrotic damage as this club just into your side.
Crap. That's a hell of a club, man. Fuck. 19 and 3. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Make
you
that
see
concentration check.
Yes, for sure. That is just a pass.
Yay!
I got exactly what I needed. Yeah, you see it like it clobbers him, but he rotates with it a fair bit as it hits him, and a lot of the damage kind of rolls off of him, and he lands back on his feet, and he's just like, "Oh man, this guy hits hard."
It grumbles something at you in a language that you do not understand.
Oh, come on. It's not too late to surrender. All right, have it your way.
Okay, so it doesn't get its bonus action back. Okay, cool. And that is its turn, and we are on to Wade.
I don't know if I should kill this Nothic or focus on the Fomorian. A great question. Or the ages. I'm going to move closer behind one of these trees over here. And what should I do? I have Fireball. I like fireballs. Another thing. No, am I in range for that? No, that's 30 feet. Okay. Use chromatic orb. I'm just gonna cast chromatic orb at it. of the Fomorian. Let's do acid damage. I don't see why not. Gonna roll to hit. That is a natural 20.
Woo!
Woo!
Low rolls on damage, but total of 18.
Oof. What kind? What did you set the chromatic orb to?
Acid.
Acid. That's right. You said that.
Wade's
Cool.
specialty.
Yeah. Blob of acid and just like hits it right in its one bulbous eye. Just like, roars in pain.
And that will be my turn.
All right. Virus.
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, I'm just gonna keep slicing them up from my hidden position here. That's going to be a 24 to hit.
Let me know if you roll below a 15.
Got it.
Or 16,
right, that's going-
excuse me.
It's going to be a very low damage roll of 9 piercing damage. The first one. Holding back on some of my once around things in hopes of nope, that's just an 18. And again, a really low roll of 8 piercing damage. But I'm really hoping for that. Nope, it's just a 25 to hit, and I'll use all my abilities this time. Really hoping for a nat 20, you know, just like trying to make it real. That's a good damage roll. That's going to be 27 piercing damage.
Well,
Ooh.
with 19 hit points left.
Fuck yeah. So the first two cuts, yeah, he literally like the first 2 cuts, he's setting himself up. He sees that exposed femoral artery, and he goes in with both swords and draws back and just brings him to his knees. Does like a sideways aerial onto the table, and then leaps into the air, coming out of the fog and planting a blade right in the base of his skull.
Ooh. Yeah, it takes a few lurching steps, and let's see, which way does it fall?
I'm like riding it with the sword buried in it.
That's funny. It actually falls directly towards Cam. How far away are you? Not.
10 feet?
I would say make a dexterity saving throw to see if it
Thank
falls
you.
on you.
Thank you for my new armor, which allows me advantage.
Fucking love it.
17. Could I?
17.
Yeah. Could I have kind of felt that and just kind of use my wings to like kind of sweep me just out of the area before he falls right in front of me?
Yeah, you shoot backwards with one powerful flap of your wings, sending some currents into the fog as this Fomorian's head misses you by about 1.5 feet.
Yeah. And as soon as like it hits the ground, the fog just kind of slowly fades away, and Lyris is just still standing there on top of him with his blade in his head. I got him.
Well done.
That's the best combat I've ever had as this character.
That was some good strategy.
Thank you.
And some quiet falls upon the clearing, unless you. It is technically Cam's turn. Nothic B is still there. It looks like it's running away. Are you going after it, or are we going out of initiative?
That depends. Is it still gonna be in range of something Wade can do?
It's gonna run
At the
away
moment-
next
turn.
It's gonna dash most likely on its next turn, yeah.
Yeah, it might still be in range because it's not, depending on what you want to
Well,
do.
We don't
Wade.
like these things.
Yeah, fucking kill it if you can.
Yeah, I'm
Hate
gonna
those
try
things.
to. I'll toss the guiding bolt at it. Level 2. That is 24 to hit.
Yeah, for sure.
Where's
I
level
think
2
just
damage?
don't roll low, and you'll probably take care of this thing.
I didn't do that last time, so we'll see how this goes. 17.
It's not bad.
That's enough.
Cool.
So it just gets bathed in radiant light.
Yeah, she's gonna look back at Wade to see if he's like there. I don't know if he's hiding in the bushes though.
Not really. I was
Oh.
covering, you know. Is it over? Or is it...
Looks like it's
Everybody
over.
else ran away.
That ball of acid was a big help. Thank you for that.
I figured, you know, just try and help. I didn't know how fireball if that would have affected your fog at all.
That's fair. I think it would survive it as long as you don't hit me with the fireball. But still, that was very clutch. Created an opening for me, and then, well, bigger they are. And Cam, I don't know what you were doing out there, but I could feel your magic flowing through me that entire fight.
Yeah, I feel like I just got so angry that I went to like this sort of Zen headspace, and I just started letting everything flow freely through me.
Does she still have wings? And is this the first time I've seen her like that?
No, she's used this before.
Okay.
Yeah, she's used this before. They kind of fold back in and start to disappear a little bit. Her eyes are still kind of glowing for a little while, and she does have this strange effect on the lighting in the space. So it's like this, it's like as if it were dark, but she's creating dim light, and then I don't know, it looks strange for a moment, and she kind of lets that disappear too.
Oh, that was really impressive. I think we handled this really well. But this guy is like basically, you know, a rival for Alvatinde, and we just took him down.
Is that one of those things that you were talking about?
I believe so. My knowledge is limited, but it's definitely a giant, Ken. Doesn't look like any other type that I know.
Well, I didn't realize that these things were so organized. They seem to be doing something here.
Well, those things are definitely serving who's ever behind the attack on Alvatinde's fort. Then they accompanied the attackers.
Oh, and we just left one of them with her. That probably wasn't the best idea.
Well, that was our mistake, but we won't make it again. It was before we knew.
It seems so harmless.
Now we know better.
Does this big one have anything in its pockets and its person?
That was about to be my next question as well.
Make me an investigation check.
I will help you, Wade.
I keep rolling though for these. Passive is 17, but I rolled a 3 for a total of 10.
I'm helping you. You have advantage.
Oh, you're helping me?
Yeah. I did say before you rolled. It's still only a 13.
He's holding your hair back out of your face while you look.
What's the new one?
The new one was still lower than the passive.
Wow, okay. So yeah, it's not too difficult to see. One of the things that you noticed, while you were fighting it, it reached up and grabbed some sort of medallion around its neck and used that to channel some sort of magical impulse that It looks like a simple clay, like a necklace with a clay figure on the end with a medallion. That's the word I'm looking for. With with a symbol carved in it. It's about the size of a dinner plate to you.
Does this seem like a magical item or more like an arcane focus?
It seems more like a magical item. Yeah.
Okay.
It seems more
Magical
like a magical
dinner plate.
Well, you
And
can
then-
identify that for us.
In addition to that, it's got this massive club with it, which appears to be very finely made, carved out of a piece of stone with lots of spikes on it. Also, Wade and probably Lyris, Wade would definitely know. Lyris would probably know that there are a number of parts of giants that have magical properties that are useful for making potions. It's not going to be using those anymore if you would like to relieve it of them.
I would like to, yes.
Yeah, I will figure out how much stuff you get. It's just for fun. You're gonna get some stuff, but roll a survival check just to see how well you do.
Our games always end up being monster harvesting.
24.
24.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the eyeball that got splashed with acid's not really usable anymore, but you can have one Fomorian eye and yeah, okay, that's fun. Yeah, it's toenails as well. 10 giants tone. It's enough to make about 10 potions of giant strength with.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. That is pretty good.
And I'm sure the eye can be used for something. I'll figure that out later.
All right.
But now we are here. Oh, go ahead, Shanks. You were going to say something.
Did he have anything else of value on him at all, or?
Not a whole lot.
That's fair.
Mostly just the clothing that it's wearing. But you suspect there may be some more value in other locations, as scattered about this camp there are a number of barrels and crates. The table next to you, probably a good thing that Wade didn't cast Fireball. It is covered in papers and notes and books and a few like arcane instruments. Not anything that you necessarily, not like magic items, but like, I don't know, like how strong's the weave here sort of thing. And in the center of this pit, there is a large blue omerite formation surrounded on all four cardinal directions with smaller purple crystals.
Interesting.
But it's 9 o'clock
Mm.
Eastern time, which is about when we end. I think we might need to investigate this next time.